Good morning. I'm Christopher Burrows, Superintendent at Georgetown Exempted Village Schools. The theme for this week is problem solving. When I saw the email from Mr. McKibben come across with the theme for this week, it took me back to my middle school principal days. And for all practical purposes, for this video's sake, we'll call the boy that I'm going to refer to Johnny. That wasn't his real name. I didn't get permission to share his story, but if I use Johnny, no one will ever know. So I was in my office, and I had a gentleman in front of me that kept making bad decisions, and I looked across the table and I said, Johnny, don't you know right from wrong? You keep making bad decisions over and over. He looked across the table at me with a half-hearted smile, and he said, yes, Mr. Burrows, I do, but it's hard. And I paused, and I looked back, and I said, hard? You're going to have to tell me more. If you want me to help you make better decisions, what do you mean by hard? And he said, well, the voices from home tell me one thing, and the voices from school tell me another. My friends tell me another. And then 12 years ago, MySpace was just picking up and was really hot. That was a social media network similar to Facebook, but it didn't catch on quite as strong. And he said, I hear the voices on MySpace. And he said, Mr. Burrows, I've made so many bad decisions that people expect me to continue to make bad decisions. So I ripped a Post-it note off of my sticky pad and I handed it across and I said, tell me 5 things that are important to you. Write them down and then we'll talk. So Johnny wrote them down. We talked. And I said, every time you make a decision, Johnny, I want you to stop. I want you to hit pause. I want you to think about the outcome and I want you to read these 5 things to yourself. Over time, you'll get these things in your mind. You won't even have to read them. After he was finished, he felt better. I felt better because I thought I'd coached him and taught him a little bit on how to be a better problem solver. And he looked back at the table at me and he said, how do you solve problems? And I said, well, I trust my gut. And he said, what about a hard problem? What about a problem that goes against how you believe? How are you going to solve that problem? And so I took his challenge. As those of you that know me know, I'm a competitive person. And I said, let me have a Post-it note. So I ripped it off. I wrote down my 5 priorities. And that's what I want to share with you today. Still to this day, I believe the year was 2007 when Johnny and I had this conversation. I keep this Post-it note beside my desk. And the 5 things that help me make decisions day in and day out are, number 1, stay grounded in my faith. Number 2, provide for my family. Number 3, create opportunities of growth and learning for children of all ages. Number 4, grow people, adults and children alike. And number 5, focus time on reflection. Reflection of myself, of my job, and of my priorities. And finally, it goes right along with that, take time to recharge, do the things that I like to do that put fuel in me so I can fuel others. I challenge each and every one of you this week to take a Post-it note, to write down 3 to 5 things that are very important to you, and then use that in your problem-solving strategies. As issues come up, big or small, this will help you work through to make a better decision. I look forward to learning and growing with each and every one of you this week to make Georgetown Schools a great place to learn, a great place to work, and a great place for parents to send their children. Thank you. Have a great week, and as always, go G-Men.